All right. Good morning, Panther fans. How the hell is everybody doing, huh? All right. So all good things come to an end, right? All good things come to an end. I'm not gonna panic. I'm gonna wait till we get a couple people in here, but I'm not gonna panic. Okay? I mean, win nine, lose one. I'll take it. You know what I mean? It could be worse. It could be worse. If you'd like to know how it could be worse, go watch the Dolphin highlights from yesterday. It can be worse. Okay? At least last year, the Panthers were we didn't know what to expect, and then we got what we got. Try decades and decades of expecting and not getting. It's trust me, it could be a lot worse. You know, Bubba didn't have his best game. Team didn't have his best game. We had our share of chances, right? I mean, we hit the post and we hit the post and the almost monster was back. But I think I wouldn't worry about it just for one game. You know what I mean? Plus the same juju is still there because Sam Reinhart scored. Okay, so you know the third goal was kind of a back breaker. Hey, Vincent, how you doing? I saw your comment, Vincent. It was a long day yesterday. Vincent, half the time I forgot what clothes I was wearing. I'm gonna be honest with you. And then I had it all set, Vincent. I was gonna change out of this hoodie into the Dolphins hoodie during the Dolphins. I couldn't find it. I don't know what happened. I literally put them both in this same spot and then put on the Panther hoodie. And when I went back to find the Dolphins hoodie last night, I couldn't find it anywhere. I'm sure it's like probably under some piece of clothing or something like that. So it is what it is. It was what it was. Thanks again to Nick, by the way, from Twisted Wrister for at least giving us the stream last night, even though the results were not exactly how we would have preferred it to be. But look, the only thing that I would have even a little bit of concern about last night is I kind of wanted to have a good showing against the Devils because I have a feeling that you know they might make the playoffs eventually. That might be an Eastern Conference Finals matchup, or it's possible if we win the division and they get the 8th seed or the 7th seed, depending on how things fall. It's actually possible they could be a first round matchup if none of the wild card teams are from the East. Bubba says flying losses. Yeah, it was a rough day yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Exactly, Bubba. 9-1 in the last 10. I know. Break up the whole team. Got to sell everyone. We definitely need to make some trades. Bubba's washed. The whole thing. The whole thing. And you know, but yeah, it was a long day. We had fun. We had fun, but Vincent says they don't look good against high speed rush teams. What does that tell me? I'll tell you what it tells me. I've said this before. I said this before that teams were going to come in and be gunning for us. And if we weren't on our A game every night, which nobody can be on their A game every night, we're going to lose games. But come playoff time, I have no concerns whatsoever that we will play the right way to take away team speed. You have to be ready and willing to work extra hard to take away team speed. We know this team can do that. It's not gonna. I mean, we won 9 in a row. You know what I mean? To me, what it says is they wanted it more. They wanted it more, and why not? They're fighting and scratching and clawing for a playoff spot, and we're comfortably where we are. You know, so and we knew that would happen last year as we got, as the playoff run went on and on and on, and we saw our formula for winning. Let's be honest, the 9-game winning streak, we played well, right? But we're still totally capable of hitting another level. Okay, we're not being physical at all, and we're winning game after game after game. So I think come playoff time when we're physical, and I'll reverse that, Vincent. I mean, I know that we weren't ridiculously fast during the President's Trophy season, but I mean, we scored a lot of goals. We were running all over teams, including Tampa, all that season. And then when the playoffs came and everything tightened up, you seen what happened. So, if we would have been matching their intensity last night and banging guys against the boards and they responded and beat us down, then I'd be worried. But I ain't gonna worry about that game. I ain't gonna worry about that. Yeah, Tim, I know it. I know it. Tim, I made a video that's going to be out directly after this. In fact, I just finished recording a Dolphins video before I came on here. So, and it's mainly about Tua, but we'll talk about that later. Sean says, haven't seen us be on the other side of the puck lock so bad in one game. It's been a hot minute. It's been a little while since we had a bad luck one, but we had such a run of bad luck earlier on in the season, you know. And let's face it, the third goal, I think I got off track. That third goal when Bob gave that one up, because it's 2-0. Hey, 2-0. All right, get a goal, and we're back in this one. You know what I mean? But when Bob didn't even look ready for that shot on the third goal, the 5-hole goal, he wasn't ready, he wasn't set, he wasn't prepared, however you want to describe it. It just was bad, and the air just went, you know what I mean? And we had a few bursts here or there, but it just wasn't going to happen. So let's see. Vincent says Montour has no A game. He's going through identity crisis. He thought he was going to be a $6 million player, but reality is B. That's a really, I don't know, man. I know people are giving Montour a lot of grief. I'll put it this way. To me, offensively, he still looks like the same player. You know what I mean? He still looks like he's the same guy. It's just the puck's just not going in the net the way it was. And maybe that'll break through a little bit, like it did with Tkachuk, right? I mean, Chucky, where were we? Game 42, right? So he's been himself for about 7 games, right? So certainly the first 20 games, Tkachuk did not look anything like himself at all. And so I'm willing to give Montour some time. I mean, you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I'm totally willing to give Montour some more time to get back into his game. It can't be easy on defense to come into a season where, the beginning of the year, it's going to take teams a little bit of, offensively, it takes teams a while to get into that groove, right? So it must be kind of difficult for a player like him who's very, very aggressive. Like if you're a stay-at-home defenseman and you insert it in the lineup game 30, it's like, all right, just stay back there and do your thing. But when your game is so as varied as Montour's is, everybody else is in a groove, in the flow there, and he's not. And I agree that he's not, but I'm not willing to I'm not going to throw him under the bus just yet. I know that there's contractual issues there and all of that, right? But it looks like we're going to be signing Reinhart first because there was a report out from Dwork in the Hockey News that the two sides they're getting close. So, and then that's the way it needs to be anyway, because we don't know what anybody else can get. I was going to say should, but we don't know what anybody else can get until Reinhart gets signed. You make sure that you sign Reinhart. And also with that, it depends on what Reinhart takes. That might have a trickle-down effect on the guys. Like if Sam Reinhart takes 8 by 8.5, everybody else on the team knows he took a team-friendly deal to keep things together. You see what I'm saying? All right. Or if we sign him to 8 times 10, everybody going to look around and be like, which one of us is leaving? Okay. So that's going to have some kind of effect one way or another on everybody else's contract. Like if we give Reinhart $10 million, Montour knows, shit, I better pack my bags. Somebody's going, and I think they all know it ain't going to be Ekblad. I mean, that would be, and fine. Actually, Ekblad, he's playing well now. I think he has, and he talked about this in that interview. He has accepted being a little bit of a different type of player, and I think he's playing all right. Let's see. Vincent says, funny thought, the secondary assist stat is total BS. It doesn't tell you anything, but look, 70 points. Right, right. I understand about, I mean, sometimes the secondary assist does matter. Sometimes. Okay. Um, it's a, but like on the, I don't know if Cousins got the assist on this goal, but it might have been like the goal that beat Boston in overtime. Cousins dumps it in. Bennett and Kachuk went behind the net. One of them got him out to Verhaeghe, and Verhaeghe won the game. So Verhaeghe gets the goal. Whoever passed it to him gets the first assist. But did Cousins get the secondary assist for dumping it in? You see what I'm saying? Right. Sometimes, but not most of the times. Yeah, I agree, Vincent. But um last year especially, we needed Montour to be aggressive like that offensively. I mean, I do enjoy watching him play, and I know that it's, I mean, it's not like we've been getting up a lot of goals. Last night wasn't great. I understand that, but we'll see. You sign Reinhardt first, and then you go on from there. You know what I mean? We've got depth for miles. I don't think you're necessarily going to be moving anybody right now because the chemistry on this team is still pretty good, and we just lost the game. And it is what it is. I'm having trouble talking today. I've been talking too much. It's too much screen time. By the way, as an aside, for those of you who are members, Friday, and there's no podcast Monday because there's 2 football games and the and the Panthers now. But Friday's podcast will not be me. It will be Kyle, because Kyle lost his bet to me yesterday that I bet Houston, he bet Cleveland. So Friday's podcast will be Kyle. So that should be interesting. I get a little bit of a day off. I get an hour off, which for me, that's like an entire day. But the other thing is, with Bubba and I, just let's play Stolars Monday. I was thinking and hoping that that's the way it was going to be anyway. I don't know. You never know if Maurice is going to think one of two things, right? He's going to think, well, I want to get Bob back out there because he didn't have a great game. Or he's going to think, yeah, maybe Bob's a little bit. I mean, you wouldn't think he'd be burnt out or tired, but I don't know. Nobody looked like they really, really had it. You know what I mean? Last night. And that's okay. It's going to happen. Those games are going to happen. I mean, that's why teams don't generally win 8, 9, 10 in a row, because it's tough to have your A or B game, right? On a nightly basis every night. You just can't do it. Vincent says last year was natural. This year it's not there, but he's forcing it defensively. He's lost. I wonder if it's the difference in his partner, right? I wonder if it's the difference in his partner. He may be, and it may be that Montour feels like he I mean, it could be monetarily contract. He's trying to show that he can still be that player, and it's probably part of that. And if we don't overpay him, right? If we don't overpay him, I have a feeling that maybe after he gets that contract signed, that he settles down. Maybe there's a part there, Vincent, that is kind of, maybe he's nervous, right? Maybe he's looking around and going, well, I know they're going to keep Reinhardt, and I know they're going to keep Forsling, and where's my money going to come from? And am I going to get a contract? Am I going to get moved? I mean, maybe there's a little bit of anxiety there that once the contract gets signed, and maybe he'll settle down and be like, okay, I've got my home. I know where I'm playing now for the next however many years. So Vincent said Barkov had it last night and Lockwood looked good. Yeah. Barkov I've been really, really impressed with Barkov. I remember years ago, when my first year, and I went on a podcast, and it was kind of a little bit of an ambush because I had been saying that Barkov needed to play better, and they were big Barkov fans. And they were kind of like, so you really think Barkov needs to play better? And I was like, yeah, Barkov needs to play better. And he has just continued to play better because he was nowhere near the full developed player that he is now. And I wonder if he can get even better. I mean, he is just turned into a beast. When he has that puck, you ain't getting the puck away from him. You're just not going to get away from him. So we'll have to see how, if I know he's not scoring a whole ton, but that first line has been going. Sam Reinhart, what was that, 32, 31 or 32? I think the game winner was his 30th. I forget, whatever it is. I mean, the dude's on pace for over 60 goals. Okay. What if he continues this? Sign him now. Right? Right? No, I don't think anybody had Sam Reinhart 60 goal scorer on their bingo card. I don't think anybody went to DraftKings before the start of the year and said, yeah, give me $100 on Sam Reinhart getting 60 goals, maybe 40, right? You look at his career and you think, okay, contract year 40, right? But not 60, right? And he's I mean, we keep waiting for him to slow down. It ain't happening. And that's good. At this point, I ain't waiting for him to slow down anymore. At this point, we're on the other end of the season. It's over halfway done now. We're on the other end of the season. So, Montour's all in his head. He's absent on the ice. Yeah, look, I'm willing to give him time, man. He was an important piece last year. I'm willing to give him time to get that sorted out. Gator Sim says Stolarz is good enough to be here for a few more years. He is another guy that since the beginning of the season has improved. The first, you guys know, I was saying it, those first few, maybe 5 starts, his rebound control, I was not pleased with it all. But he's worked on that. And, we've talked about it. I don't want to get into it, the whole Spencer Knight thing and all of that. But I'm comfortable with what we've got. I want him to give some more games. Let's ease off Bob a little bit. And as long as Stolarz is playing this way, 2-1, maybe 3-1. But there's no need to run Bob 4 anymore. That's not heading into the playoffs. There's no need to go 4-1. Depending on the schedule, because I think we have a back-to-back coming up here. Let me get to that here real quick. Is it this upcoming weekend or the following? Let's see. Let's look at the schedule here. We got the Ducks tomorrow. Yeah, it's no, the back-to-back is the following. It's a little bit further down over. We got the Ducks tomorrow. We got the Wings on Wednesday, and then we've got the Wild on Friday, and then we have 2 days off. So if you play Stolarz against the Ducks, then Bob against the Wings and Wild. And then maybe Stolarz after that, depend. But the back-to-back, there's Friday, Saturday, January 26th, 27th. But we're coming up on a run of games here that's kind of winnable. Hey, Jake, good morning. Ducks, right? We got the Wings. But Wild, Preds, Coyotes, Penguins, Islanders, Flyers, Capitals, Avalanche, Penguins, Sabres, Lightning, Senators, Hurricanes, Capitals, Sabres. Where Canadians? There's no Bruins in there. There's no Rangers in there. There's the one game against Colorado. But there's a big stretch of very winnable games coming up. And we're just coming off of a 9-game win streak. So I have a feeling we're going to get on another roll. I'm not saying those teams suck, but they're winnable games. So let's see. Vince says Barkov was left for dead after Dadonov left, and Hubie was taken from him. Reinhart found himself, and Erod is basically Dadonov. That's a pretty good comparison. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good comparison, Vincent. Yeah. Tim says Dadonov was one of the worst winners Barkov has since been in the NHL. I don't know about that. I don't know. What makes you say that? I mean, when you talk about the guys that have been on Barkov's wing, I have to go back, obviously, before Yager, right? But we had, what was Yager here? 2 seasons plus the year that we got him. He was here 2 years plus the year we got him on the trade deadline, right? It wasn't just the one, right? I believe it was 2. Yeah, because there was the year we got him, and then there was the year we made the playoffs, and then there was the Tom Rowe year. Yeah. iDog says, is it weird that despite the bad loss, I still have full confidence in this team? I'm not worried at all. I not even look. You gotta lose games. We weren't gonna go 42-0 the rest of the year. You know what I mean? And we weren't gonna go 42-0. I know that might come as a shock to some people. There was a few comments in the recap, and I'm like, you would have thought we just lost our 6th game in a row. Nah, man, I'm not even. Just take it, toss it in the garbage, throw it away. Go beat the Ducks. Go beat the Ducks tomorrow, and we're I mean, we're good, and I expect that. And in fact, what was that? Ducks. Let me see. Let me get back to this. Ducks. The Wings. We got to play the Wings but we're still at home. We still have 3 more games at home. So realistically, Ducks, Wings, Wild. I mean, at worst, we should get us 5 points out of those 6. You know what I mean? That's really the worst it should be. And then we go on the road for the 1 game against the Preds. And then we come back home again for 1 game against the Coyotes. And then we go back on the road for a little bit. Yeah, Vince says 41-0, right? Yeah. Bobrovsky, you're off the case. He's going to get a day off. It's going to be an afternoon game. He was never going to play Monday anyway, right? So he'd be all right. He'd be all right. Look, let's be realistic here. That game he had last night, that was almost like a normal to / good game from Bobrovsky in the President's Trophy season. 3 goals. 3 goals. President's Trophy season, Bob was doing that every game, but we were winning 7-3, so nobody was noticing. You know what I mean? And that's how it was too, right? So we've gotten so used to him being elite all 60 minutes for the most part, and he wasn't yesterday, and it's okay. Hey, JC, Tim says Barkov never had bad wingers, unlike Weiss. Oh boy, poor, yeah, Weiss. Although that was 1 year, there was that 1 year Weiss, Fleischman Weiss, Fleischman and Versteeg. That was, I don't know how we won games with that, but we did, and we almost won a playoff series with those guys. Who was the goalie then? That was before we got Luongo back, right? Oh, what was his name? It was Jose 4 or more. Or 3 or more. Yeah, it was Jose 3 or more. Yeah, right. So am I going to do a live stream Dolphins recap? I did a recap last night. I recorded a video before I started here, and then Trey and I are going to have a review tomorrow. I'm gonna jump on some Dolphin lives as the off season goes on and everything. I kind of just right now with all the live streams of the games, I can't jump on it right now. It's just not enough time in the day. And my throat, my voice, I'm sucking down water like a maniac. But I'll be all right. On that note, real quick, if you haven't watched, even if you don't want to watch the football stuff, for the first time ever yesterday, at the post game for the Dolphins, the whole post game is Kyle. He did the post game. I was setting up the camera to do the post game show, and the post game segment on the recap, and he starts ranting, and I'm like, wait a minute, stop, hold on, get in front of the camera. So the whole post game is Kyle. It's not me. So even if you're not a Dolphin fan, you will enjoy it. I promise. Kyle, it was like watching myself. I'm like, oh, that's what I sound like. It It was great. He did a great job. I'm proud of him, man. And it worked out too because that way it was a little bit, you know, he's still got that fire in him about the Dolphins. I'm too analytical now. You know what I mean? Because they've burnt me so many decades in a row. Funny, Vincent, right? Jake, yeah, Stephen Weiss. I'm not saying he was bad. Um, we almost overachieved that year with him for sure, right? Now, Weiss goal versus Boston is still in your head. The end. Yeah, yep, yep. It was a lot. It was a lot of almost with that group of guys. You know what I mean? You wanted to like them, and then the wheels just fell off, right? I mean, geez, we won that Southeast Division and we lost. That was to the Devils, right? Yeah, that was to the Devils, double overtime. We had the series lead and we lose game 6, we lose game 7, and then the wheels came off. The wheels absolutely came off, and that's when they started trying to restructure things, and the other kids came in and everything. Hey, Raven, Ronaldo. Soulflow says, just realized Kulikov will be playing in his third playoffs with the Panthers. His third. Well, I know the Gallant year. Was he with us then? Was Kulikov on that team? Soulflow? Was Kulikov on that team? You're talking about the Southeast Division winning team? Because because we got rid of him right after the Gallant, the Islanders series, right? I didn't realize that. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that would have had to have been. I didn't realize that. Boy, he must have been what, like 8 years old? He must have been like a 17-year-old or something. But yeah, it goes by quick and you forget. You know what I mean? You forget just how long ago guys came in. Hey, MJ, thank you. Good morning, brother. All right, all right, all right, all right. Good morning. He says, morning, Jaws. Happy Sunday. It's currently -6. Holy crap. Wait a minute. Get the hat straight. I want to read this right. It says it's currently -6 with -30 wind chill in Chicago. I'm sorry about the Panthers loss yesterday. Streak is over, but I'm not sad. Good run. Amen. Thank you, MJ. Thank you, brother. That is cold. That is some Alaska weather. Okay. That was when I was in the Air Force. That was about a normal average temp in January, about -6, -10. We didn't get a lot of wind because the Air Force base is in the valley near Fairbanks. So we didn't get a ton of wind. So that wasn't all that bad. But yeah, normal temperature would be like, the high would be -6, the low would be -8. Because the sun didn't come up, so it didn't matter. It was the same thing. It was the same damn thing. But that's cold for Chicago. That's cold. We're 42, but we've got a nasty wind off the bay right now. So even especially Ellie was like, I don't want to be outside. I don't want to be outside. So I brought them up. So yeah, but look, in terms of last night's game, guys, don't worry about it. I saw a couple. I mean, I know some of you guys are just joking and everything, but I saw some comments in the recap, and it's like, come on now, let's not become Dolphin fans, okay? We've got a good team that has proven that they can win, okay? There are Dolphin fans that are how old? I mean, the last time the Dolphins went to a Super Bowl was 1985, so that's 39 years ago, right? Let's see, 40, yeah, 30. So just think about it that way. The Panthers have at least been to the Stanley Cup twice in our lifetimes, where you've got Dolphin fans that are 40 years old that basically never even seen their team make it to the Super Bowl. So we're all right. We're gonna be okay. Ravens is like 55 there. Yeah, the Oilers streak is still alive. Yeah, MJ Fluffy, he kind of likes the cold. he's not as thrilled about it as he used to. You know what I mean? He used to like to run and play and do all the rolling and all of that in the cold. And now I just think it kind of hurts his bones a little bit. Fluffy's perfect temperature now is more like 55. Right? That's the perfect temperature for him. Not too warm, not too cold. He can lay in the sun and feel good. But when it gets to be like now where it's like 40 degrees and probably it's well below freezing with the wind chill or close to it, he's not he's not all that fond of it, to be honest with you. He's here. Let me see if I can get him on camera. He's snoring. There he is. He's snoring away. He had a rough day yesterday because we never went upstairs. Yesterday, normally I bring him upstairs during the day, but since we had so many of the games, I never brought him upstairs until the nighttime. So he was whining at us during the Dolphin game because he thought he was going to end up sleeping downstairs again, and he hates to sleep downstairs. So, hey, Colin, happy birthday. Happy birthday, huh? Yeah, that's right. The Packers and Cowboys play tonight. We're streaming everything. So, oh boy. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Look, what do we got? Let's look ahead a little bit. All right, let's look at the next 10. All right, we're 9-1 in our last 10. So let's look at our next 10. I'm going to read them off, and you guys tell me how many points we should get. All right? All right, here we go. The Ducks, we're home against the Ducks. We're home against the Wings, and we're home against the Wild. Then we're on the road for the Predators. Then we're at home for the Coyotes. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Then we're on the road against the Penguins, the Islanders. Then we're home against the Flyers. And then we're home against the Capitals and home against the Avalanche. That's our next 10. So, in my opinion, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. In my opinion, out of the next 20 points, we should be looking at 15 to 16. Oh, MJ, whoa, MJ. No, way more than that, brother. Way more than that. Yeah, I like Colin's answer. Gators Tim 6-4. I guess maybe like 6-2-2. Tim, will you meet me there? 6-2-2. Oh shit. Yeah, that MJ, that's only 10 points out of the possible 20. That's 5-5. We ain't gonna go 5. If we go 5-5 during that stretch, I'll be back to screaming that we need a player. Vincent says Owen Tippett, 15 games, 15 goals, 11 assists in 43 games. Do you see what Vincent is trying? Vincent is trying to get me to start. I don't need to say anything about Owen Tippett. I said it all the years he was with the team. All right, I told y'all, and that's it. I got the mic has been dropped on Owen Tippett. That one I got right. God damn it. I hate that. I would have rather been wrong, by the way. I really would have rather been like, well, it was worth it. Tippett sucks. But it ain't the case. It ain't the case. The dude's, yeah, there you go. All right, MJ. We'll take 14. We'll take 14. Right? Yeah. I think we're gonna be okay. Where are we in the standings? I think Buffalo, Boston won. Let me see. So we're 3 points out now because Boston finally won a game. And the Leafs don't, we're actually closer to third place than we are first place because the Leafs have 2 games in hand on us. What's going on with the Lightning? Hey, they finally won some games. Boy, the Lightning have a -3 goal differential. Who would have thought that? So who are the wild card teams? Let's see. 59, 56, 50, 54, 53, 52. So the wild card teams right now are the Lightning and the Islanders. So that's new. And see, there's the Devils, right? The Devils at 47, they're desperate. And that had something to do with yesterday. You know what I mean? The Devils are desperate. They're on the outside looking in right now. And that's going to happen. Okay, as we get more and more comfortable in the playoff position, and we get teams coming in that are desperate for points, games like yesterday are going to happen. Okay, this will not be the last time this season that we look like that, and the other team looks way better than us. Don't even just don't. All you need to think about is all the years that during the regular season we would be desperate for points and we would go beat the crap out of the Lightning in the regular season. And what were their fans saying? They were like, talk to us in April. Okay. We're that team now. We need to look at it from a different perspective now. We're the team they're chasing. We're kind of comfortable. They're desperate. So yeah, maybe we lose a game here or there that kind of looks bad. But come April, I'm telling you, I feel good about this team. You know, yeah, the Lightning just have no depth, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly, Matthew. It still felt like we could come back and tie with 2 minutes left. I'm not worried about it. We'll be okay, man. You know, I mean, you just look at the difference. I mean, where were we 5 years ago? 5 years ago, I always use this example, but it's true. There was legitimately people fighting on Twitter, like longtime Panther fans, that some of them that like have podcasts and stuff, fighting from the perspective of saying, yes, Seth Griffith is worth being up there with Barkov from the top line because that's all we got. Hey, MJ, thank you, MJ. All right. What you got for me? He says, Jaws, I hope and pray the Panthers don't go through the Stanley Cup final hangover effect. I also don't want the President's Trophy. No curse, please. I don't feel like that this team is that. I don't feel like this team is going through any of that right now. From number one, we didn't win. Okay, so there's that. There's still that hunger there. And now these guys know what it takes. And I think you're seeing that. I think you're seeing some of that in this regular season because the longer that it goes on that we're not playing physical like we did last year, the more I think it's on purpose. I think they realize, okay, look, we had to bust our ass. Okay, we had to bust our ass to make the playoffs last year. And by the time we got to the finals, we were physically wrecked. And I think it's a conscious decision this year to not do that to our bodies. We're out skating teams most nights. Vincent says people were fighting on Twitter before. Well, it's not that they were fighting. It's just that we were fighting over Seth Griffith, who sucks. You see what I'm saying? Well, the point I was trying to make was that where we've come as a team and as a fan base, you know, it's happened so fast that I don't know that everybody recognizes that we may not have the cup to quite show for it yet. Okay, but we're one of those teams now. We're the team that the other teams come in chasing, trying to match and prove like, hey, we can beat these guys. Okay. We're the other team now where we just kind of go through our season and we kind of look good and then not so good and good. And we turn it on and we turn it off. But then when the postseason comes, you see the real Panthers. I guarantee you that's what's fixing to happen. Oh my God, people, the Yandel. Oh God. Oh yes. Yeah, because they would show the analytics. Because Yandel's analytics, he drives play and he's good on the power play. He drives play and he's good on the power play. And it's kind of the same thing with Uyghur, where they would try to talk to us about how it's okay. All the turnovers are okay because they make up for it offensively, right? That whole thing. And, you know, these are defensemen. We and the other side of us would be kind of like, no defensemen. We're not supposed to be worried about how many goals they give up and they make up for it on offense, right? Yeah, Yandel. That was all Tom Rowe. What a mess that was. That's a whole nother. That's my first video. That's my first video. It's so bad though, too. MJ says Yandel didn't break the consecutive games play streak with the Panthers, though. Did he break it with us? No, he broke it with Philly, right? Yeah, he broke it with Philly. And then they stopped him like what, 4 short of 1,000 or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, Matthew Zito, man. Zito is the thing. What was that? I seen a trade. Hold on a second. Tim says trade Knight for Duke Hoffman. No way, man. Now you got to get way more than that from Spencer Knight. And I don't want a player back. If you're going to trade Spencer Knight, y'all laugh at me. Y'all laugh at me for this. If you trade Spencer Knight, I want two. I want 2 ones. I want 2 ones for Spencer Knight. And they got to take all the cap. SoFlo says, talking about all this Yandel and Griffith nonsense and analytics is making me so unbelievable grateful. We have Bill Zito. Like, I don't think people realize how lucky we are to have a great GM. I think people are starting to figure it out, SoFlo, but I think it's going to take 5-7 years of us consistently being good like this for people to really, really understand how difficult of a job he's gone from where we were, and to get it. I mean, just from last year, just to get us from where we were last year with no depth because there was no money to somehow where we are now, where we still have no money, but we've got a ton of depth. I don't even know how he did it, but he did. I mean, because you've got to basically hit on 90% of your replacement level players, right? And he didn't quite do that last year. Tierney, Balsers weren't as good as what we've got this year. But you've got to hit on basically all of your, $1 million players that fill out the roster. SoFlo says, remember how bad we were looking in 2019 and looked like we were in for another 10 years rebuild, and look at us now. Yeah, I mean, it is just we are definitely damn lucky. There's no doubt about that. Colby says Eric's guardian angel may have purposely caused Q to be canned, so Maurice comes in and leads us to the cup. That whole thing. Boy, I know Stu was pissed about that for a long, long time, a lot longer than I was. Sometimes it just works out. Sometimes it just works out, and I know that there were a lot of people midway through the season, there were people dropping the mic on we should have kept Bruno, and I didn't blame them. But Maurice is one stubborn son of a bitch. And I mean, you got to give Maurice credit, because no matter how much panic we were, Maurice was just like, it'll come. It's getting there. We're getting close. It just nothing could fade. It'll come. Don't worry. It'll come. You can get that little grin. It'll come. And that was it, man. And he wasn't wrong. And now you look at this team. Now we don't even have to beat teams up to win, right? And I think we're going to see something in these playoffs. And I don't want to get my hopes too up, because anything can happen in the playoffs, right? It's the playoffs. Just get in. But long as we keep rocking and rolling, and Bob, I'm not even gonna worry about last night with Bob. So trade for Gudis. Now we don't need anybody. Where are you going to put him? Who are you taking off the ice? Who are you going to take off the ice for Gudis? Forsling, I mean, who? Kulikov? I mean, that would be about it. Hey, MJ, thank you, brother. What's it going to take to get Gudis back? I don't think we can afford him now anyway, right? I mean, I don't think that's happening. I think that ship sailed. You know what I mean? Mikula is better, and there's just no money. There's no real need. There's no real need. I don't think it's going to happen, man. Matthew says Bruno's better at driving a golf cart than coaching an NHL. Man, that had to be a setup. I mean, who gets a DUI in their golf cart? That had to be and I don't know the intricate details of it. I don't know if he was just like driving crazy or whatnot. But now you guys live down there with, I mean, does that happen? Or was that just a one? I mean, does that happen to people where they get DUIs with the golf cart? Does like normal, regular people get that and Bruno just got dinged? Or because that kind of always felt like a setup to me a little bit. Like, come on, man, who gets that? Hey, Praga, it does happen down. Yeah, Colby, that's true. That's true. I don't even think I've ridden in a golf cart. I don't know if I've ever even driven a golf cart. Praga says new golf cart traffic rules coming into play. Really? I guess a lot of people. I guess a lot of people are using them down there. That's interesting. I mean, we get people that use them here, but there's no cars on the road here. You know what I mean? We get like, unless I'm recording a podcast out there, um, we get like 2 cars an hour, maybe. No golf cart drivers younger than 16. Really? Really? And some new traffic rules coming to. Wow, that's what all the kids around here will get around in. Like there's some kids during the summer, they put all their fishing gear in the golf cart and then they ride down to the river and they spend all day fishing. I love to see it because it reminds me of what me and my brother Gene used to do, but it was with bikes. We carry all our fishing tackle on the bike and run down to the river and fish. And that's what these kids do. They use dad's golf cart and they go fishing all summer. Oh, he was near a bunch of bars. I see. Now, oh well, that had to be the most embarrassing thing. That's for sure, right? Yeah, Praga. Regarding the game, Florida outplayed the Devils. Agree. No worries. Yeah, I'm not even. And yeah, especially the one goal. What it went like off of Kulikov's skate, off the roof. I think it hit Bob in the head. I think then it went into a vending machine, came out the vending machine, and then went in the net barely. I mean, it's a complete throwaway. Now, if we do that again against the Ducks, I think I said this in the recap yesterday. Yeah. If we do this again against the Ducks, you can go into last night's recap and call me out for being wrong about not having anything to worry about. MJ. Yeah, no, I know. Not MJ, that's Matthew. That's the other Matthew, MO. Yeah, no, I'm in the middle of the country, but you know, I'm getting distracted because I'm hearing Karen talking. All right, I don't know what that was all about. Usually Karen doesn't talk when she knows I'm in here, so I was wondering if she was calling me or whatnot. He bragged about being a Florida coach. I know. Oh my God, that's bad. That's bad. Poor Bruno. Poor everybody that leaves. You know, they want to stay, right? They absolutely want to stay. Um, and that's why Reinhardt. What do you guys think before we get ready to go? Before we get ready to go here, because the voice is running out on me. Hey, MJ again. Thank you, brother. Thank you, MJ. Says at my last Panther games, Panther employee in a golf cart took you from the parking lot in Sunrise to the front door of the arena. That's nice. That's all. Is that something that they do? Do they have like the Disney trams there where they run the people? That's what they need to have. I bet you they could make some money doing that. In fact, maybe they could lower the parking. If they lower the parking cost, right? And instead of what is it like $30 to park now? So they make it $15. But you can buy a parking pass that's a tram pass, and then they'll tote your ass up in a tram or a golf cart to the front. I bet you people would pay for that. Hey, Boulevard, thanks, man. Yeah, I talked about it a little bit earlier and sent people in that direction. And I'll say it again. If you didn't watch, if you didn't watch the football recap, the Dolphins recap yesterday, even if you don't care about the football, Kyle did the entire post game, and it was legit. It was fantastic, man. People park at the mall and walk. I get it. Yeah, we used to park our bikes. We used to ride our bikes from, I lived in Iowa's Estates. Those of you who live down there will know where I'm talking about. Gene and I lived in Iowa's Estates. So we would ride our bikes to the California Club Mall, lock them up there, and then walk to Joe Robbie Stadium. That was how we did it. So we didn't have to walk the whole way. Oh yeah, Praga. Yeah, thanks again to Nick. Yeah, he was fantastic. He's really good with the play-by-play. Yeah, it's a completely different experience. You can listen to his stream. If I'm not there distracting him, you can listen to his stream and swear you're listening to the radio. He's really good. He's really good. MJ, yeah, I've tried. Eventually, he will. Eventually, he'll have his own. He'll have his own channel. I'll convince him into it. I keep trying to get him to do it, but eventually, you guys just keep giving him compliments, and he will. Oh, Frank says, "What happened last night? I didn't go to the game, so we should have won." They didn't. We lost. I mean, we lost. It's a blip on the season. It's not even a bad blip. It's just like a blip. We lost that game. Then we're going to get back to winning on Monday. Bob let in a couple of goals he shouldn't have let in. We hit the post about a half dozen times. Couldn't bury our chances. The old story. That's how we lose our games. Matthew. Yeah, but Nick did do a great job. Yeah, yep. All right, everybody. I think that's it for my voice. That's it. I still got oh, Frank says, just kidding. You did go. It's your fault and you stayed this time. That's why they got the empty netter, because you stayed, right? Is that is that what happened? All right, everybody. Later on today, what time does the game start? Whatever the game starts, like Kyle and I will be live like 10 minutes before the first game. We're streaming both football games today. We're streaming, obviously, the Panthers tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Then we're doing both football games tomorrow. And then Tuesday, things go back to normal with the review at noon and then the podcast shortly after. So as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to be uploading. I just recorded a video for the football channel. We're closing in on 1,000. We just like the Dolphins. I just missed my goal. I was hoping to get 1,000 subscribers before the Dolphins season ended. Had we won a playoff game, that would have happened. We're at like 913 right now. We're kind of getting about 50 to 75 new subscribers a week. So if we would have won one playoff game, we would have got to the 1,000 subscribers before the season's over. But we'll get there. We'll get there before the end of football season for sure, because we're streaming all of the other playoff games. You don't even need to ask. All the other playoff games, Super Bowl, yes, we're streaming them. So that solves that. So, MJ, everything that you could expect from the Panthers channel in terms of streaming and the free agency and the drafts and all of that, everything you would expect from this channel is happening on the football channel. So that's where we're at. So, all right, everybody, the voice is gone. I got to go have some yogurt and a nappy time. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all showing up. Thank you for all the super chats, guys. Really appreciate it. And for some of you, I will see you guys a little bit later on this afternoon.